Time for a great afternoon of sports entertainment talk. Get ready for in-depth discussions on everything from the court to the field, mixed with the business and culture that orbit the sports world. Whether it's the latest blockbuster trade or the societal impact of sports. 2 Men On, with your hosts, Van Nunley and Fred Slow, with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
It's Friday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? That means the boys are monster truck. Let's go.
Yes.
It is the toughest tour monster truck, my friends. Come out to the rear Rancho Vincent tonight and hang out with us. Vroom, vroom.
It's going to get real loud. And your friends of the show, last year, earplugs were provided. And I'm pretty sure they will be again this year. But if you are a earplug connoisseur, please, BYOEP. It's going to get real loud.
Bring your own earplugs, BYO.
Except for the Monster Cybertruck. I don't think that one's going to get very loud. All of the other ones, though, super friggin' loud.
Back at the studio and on our live stream is producer Carlos Tenorio. Still can't figure out the video thing. This is wild. 2 days in a row. You think, think anything would have stuck?
I like
it. I think I look great.
Doesn't matter what you like.
Hello.
Do it the right way. Like what is? That's an interesting thing about kids, right? Yeah, like center yourself on the camera.
Yeah.
Like, and we live in like a world here where, I'm fine. Doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah.
Like we are in a
We're
world
trying to help you create a better product.
of creating a medium.
Yeah.
But now my move, you
So
already cover your face with that stupid mustache. Now you're going to cover your entire face with your logo? No. Yeah. Put yourself square on the camera and get squared away. Jeez.
Learn.
This camera is
brutal.
No, it is not. There's zero obstacles in our current lives that we are not in control of. Zero obstacles.
I feel like I'm
trying to move the Tin Man over here.
This is kids these days, dude. I swear it.
Definitely not
I
a 10.
swear it, dude.
I know that
kids
much.
these days.
No,
also,
this is fine.
Also, that's what Notre
not.
Dame. That's what Penn State's saying about last night. Kids these days.
The quarterback's not fine. If it wasn't for the Zebras, he would have had a hat trick of picks. The game was not as close as the score represented.
You feel that way?
I do. I think Notre Dame dominated that thing. It should have been
brutal.
Mid-40s to mid-20s.
You think?
I do.
I don't know.
I watched every snap of that mother. Well, except for like halftime when I was traveling in between watching locations. But I feel, except for a couple big plays by the Nittany Lions, it was domination by Notre Dame. Except for Notre Dame's offensive line. That was bad.
Horrendous, to say the least.
Nittany Lions defensive ends kind of just like set down their flag inside the pocket all game.
There was a point in the fourth quarter of yesterday's game where unguarded
Nittany Lion just ran right off the edge, just right at him.
Yeah, not even clipped.
It wasn't no one. The Notre Dame offensive line, and don't get me wrong, is an Irish fan that's awesome and happy we're competing for a national title, but the offensive line is the biggest downfall. And whether Notre Dame plays Texas or Ohio State, winner that game is tonight. That Cotton Bowl is tonight, but the winner of that goes on to the national championship. That offensive line is going to be killed, and it's going to be bad.
Well, you got some time to get healthy, but every single member of the Fighting Irish's offensive line had a brace, was taped, was cringing all game, had their hands on their hips all game. Those guys are hanging on by a thread.
Looked like the Detroit Lions, honestly, when it came to injuries and stuff. I feel like that's where the Irish are right now, and obviously the flu had a lot to do with that last night.
Well, they got their liquids at halftime, though, because the second half of the game, incredibly better than the first half. The first half, I thought, oh my God, shades of stupid, boring old Big Ten football. Stupid, run, let the clock go, run. I was a snoozing during that. I was not capable. I was not interested. I said, yeah, Both teams go in, they get hydrated. It comes out. Notre Dame puts one on early. The third quarter, shut down as Penn State. Here, both teams throwing blows in the fourth. It's going to come down to the very, very end of it. And I go, you were right the whole time, college football playoffs. You always were.
Yeah, it was an amazing game. Like the back and forth. I mean, the close nature of the second half. But again, it didn't feel that close because turnovers kept getting, called back, and then penalties were way on Penn State's favor. Like, it was surprising. I said it before the program that, I felt shades of Kansas City Chiefs when it came to Notre Dame. I was like, they're going to fight tooth and nail to make sure Notre Dame wins this game. And it seemed they went the other way with it. Turnovers getting called back, more penalties on their side.
Weird interceptions, lots of conversation between the officials on the field and the officials in the score clock, time clock, play clock. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The whole game clock operator was felt for him yesterday. That must have been rough. Felt for him yesterday.
Yeah, if it's within 10 seconds, just pick what time you want it to be. That's how it felt to me. Like the clock would jump forward and fall back. I was like, I thought Trump was going to get rid of
time zones.
Not time zones.
I feel like that was a good one.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it was a good little game last night. But the game on the field, I mean, if you're a Penn State fan or Notre Dame fan, you're like, this is the most important thing, blah, blah, blah. The real most important thing is Notre Dame, by winning these past two games, is up like $20 million in their coffer. And that is wild. You go into this thing independent, you can come out $20 million heavier. $20 million. Like, prospectively, if OSU makes it, Ohio State University, they only get $1 million because they have to split the rest with the conference.
Yeah, a little over $1 million because he split it with 16 other teams. Notre Dame gets that bag all by itself. Look, this is going to be, regardless of the outcome, because the fan bases for the Texas Longhorns and the Ohio State Buckeyes are both gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how much the country loves Notre Dame football. This is going to be the most watched national championship game of all time.
The Notre Dame football talk is kind of interesting because that fan base, which we often poke fun at, we often give a hard time, and they haven't been able to, in the last several years, of open under-the-table paying of collegiate athletes. They've not been able to be in the mix. You know, they haven't won anything since, is the 80s correct? I feel like it's the 80s. Yeah, and that's Joe Montana or something, right? So who knows? Yeah. It's not Joe Montana.
It's around that era.
But you get the point. And we forget, Van and I are both in our 40s. We forget what Notre Dame football was. Notre Dame, not just regionally, but for the entire country, was their program is older than almost all other programs.
Sure.
Their fandom predates the existence of other football. You could have gone to a school and not had a football team. You could have gone to university, and this would be your closest option. By the way, it was the only thing on Saturdays with its NBC partnership forever.
Correct.
It was then syndicated. This is this wild thing you know anything about, Carlos. The tape was actually sent to local affiliates.
Yeah.
It would be overnighted so that it could be played on Sunday mornings before NFL football all across this country. Like, this is a thing for years that Notre Dame had access to, building a fan base. And it is, to me, a situation where, because it has been that amount of time, that fan base is going to be rewarded, not just by Notre Dame and the play on the field, but college football. And they're going to make sure that these Fighting Irish are victorious over either program. They don't care which one, Texas or Ohio State.
Sure.
Does not matter. Because that is the thing that makes the college football playoffs work. You forever have the praise, even if they modify it next year. You forever have the praise of the most sizable fan base in college football because their team was successful.
I mean, even Carlos, even you being a Fighting Irish fan, you might not understand like the worldwide brand that Notre Dame is. When I was growing up, you were one of two camps. And this is just because of the rise of the U. When I was growing up, you were either a Notre Dame fan or a Miami University fan. In the world of starter jackets and 4-panel hats, like, you either had Notre Dame gear or you had Miami gear, and there was no in between. Like, it was a huge brand. Like, every generation, if you're not born into some college, if your dad or your uncle or whoever taught you the game wasn't totally into a college, you probably liked Notre Dame.
Yeah.
The brand is that strong, and it's crazy that it's back in full force.
It's the worst logo.
Sweetest helmet.
Sweetest helmet, worst logo.
I'm talking about the knuckle up, literal fighting Irish.
Yeah.
That is pretty bad.
It sucks.
They could do better. There's room for improvement, but it's still an iconic logo nonetheless.
The Texas #1, period. #1, Texas #1. Ohio State better than Notre Dame logo-wise.
Ohio State's helmets are pretty sweet, too, with the Buckeye.
Yeah, they're super sweet.
The end of the season. Everybody's got their Buckeye awards.
What are those things called? The Qs? What are they called? Whenever they get the little sticker? Is that what that's called?
The Buckeyes?
Yeah, the little sticker. Is it called a Q? Is that what it's called?
You got me. I thought they were Buckeyes.
No, well, that's what the image is.
The image is.
Yeah,
oh.
But the marking, like the whatever, that is something. It's like when you put like a little notch on your Warhammer or whatever, it's called something. I don't know what it is, but it's called something. So anyway, so that thing is iconic, and then the Nittany Lions is they're never going to be able to come out of scandal for me. Like, and I get the fan base that attended there, and I get everything associated with it, and I don't think we hide this on this show at all. I have a strong disinterest in how collegiate athletics has been run by its leadership across the nation as a whole at every degree for the longest time. I've had a gigantic issue with things being swept under the rug, and Penn State is the example for the class on how to ruin reputation.
Well, I mean, it seems like they're back. I mean, they built the brand all the way back from scratch. Like, they had to demolish their program, implode it really, and then build it back up. So even though I think Penn State this year and a lot of success that Penn State's had recently, it's kind of fool's gold because they lose to Ohio State, they lose to Michigan, they lose to any top 20 team, but they beat up on everyone else. So I don't even think that they're the big of contender that people think they are.
Their fan base thinks they are.
Well, of course.
I don't. They get in top 25s all the time. There is a recognition there. Something Big Ten. The Big Ten was set. Purdue was set up for success. Ohio State or the Nittany Lions, they were going to get 1.1 million no matter what. Like, that's actually the play.
Right.
Just be in the conference, get paid. Never ever compete, get paid. Inflate the records of the teams at the top, get paid.
How much money is the Mountain West making off of Boise State's Fiesta Bowl trip? That's what I want to know.
I mean, you're sitting right in front of a computer.
Yeah.
So,
I say that.
No, we don't have the answer.
But another question that arises
before I look it up is, does the Mountain West even get that? Because of conference realignment, Boise State moving to Pac-12 in 2 years.
In 2 years, but they're there now.
Next year now it's 2025. Actually, thinking about it, it's 2026 it happens. That's scary to me that 2026 is next year. But I'm gonna do some research and see how this money breaks up here.
God. I'm gonna really blow your mind when we find out what comes out after 2026.
Oh, that's fine.
Too soon. Too soon. We are at the Rio Rancho Event Center tonight. It is toughest monster truck tour.
So unbelievably stoked.
This is the funnest stuff. If you've never been, make the trip. I don't even know what tickets are going for. It's affordable. I'm going to tell you that.
If I know anything about the Rio Rancho Event Center, tickets are affordable.
Yeah, tickets are affordable. Come out. This place looks bangers. We're going to put a picture up on the social media here pretty quick. There are a half dozen ramps. There's a monster truck that looks like a cyber truck. There's cars that are obviously going to be smashed. Like, this is a sweet deal tonight. So come out, hang out with us. Van and I are. We're also going to have the game on because we got a little internet connection over here.
Yeah, baby.
So we're going to have that type of night. It's Two Men On live from the Rio Rancho Event Center, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Brought to you by New Balance.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. I am Fred Slow. We are at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Van Nunley is with me. Carlos Tenorio, you are back at the station. That sucks for you because it's Monster Truck tonight. Let's go. Big Monster Truck guy.
You follow the tour. Who do you think is going to take the points competition tonight? I like the earth moving one.
So what's the front end loader one called where they build the hills?
McLody Boy.
Yeah, like McLody Boy.
He's an Irish construction worker
from the south side.
Mm-hmm.
Last year when we did the show, Carlos, we did it with Southern accents. Van and I have different opinions of what that is because he grew up in the Houston area and I grew up in the Ozarks area.
Right.
So they were vastly different Southern accents, but they both voted Republican.
No doubt.
Yeah, 100% on that one.
Your accent from like people like you who are from the Middle East, and then me from people from the South is way different.
Not from the Middle
Carlos,
East.
look at a map. St. Louis is in the Middle East.
It's not.
That's what it is.
It's not how I would phrase that, but
the Midwest is South Dakota.
It is in the middle western part of the country.
Northern Nevada, South Dakota. That's the Midwest. The Middle East is Missouri, Illinois.
It's not Illinois. That's not even.
That's how you pronounce OIS in France.
It's not a French name. Illinois is not a French name.
Oh, okay. Go on.
No, there's nothing to go on about. UNM Lobos have sold out the pit. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., they're taking on the San Diego State University Aztecs. It's a big matchup. 5-0 is New Mexico in the conference. I believe the Aztecs are 3-1, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's a big one, I think. I've said this a couple times about the Mountain West, and I really do feel this way. It is not the powerhouse it claims to be. But that doesn't mean that the top one or two teams that come out of it won't be contenders when it comes postseason play. To be one of those top one or two teams, the teams that are currently sitting in the top four, so that would be the Lobos, San Diego State obviously would be in the mix. Utah State would be in the mix. The cream of that crop has to rise, right? The Lobos at 11 a.m. Smart move by the Lobos to not battle NFL football, by the way.
Yeah.
Super smart move. They are at home, and it is the stripe out game. So depending on what section you're sitting in, wear certain clothes. I promise you that will go poorly.
It went okay last time.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to be an ideal situation for people to get information ahead of time. Remember last time people were texting us like all during the program, like what color do I wear in this section? I was like, do you not have internet access? Do you not have UNM Lobo Basketball's Instagram, UNM Athletics Instagram?
Yeah. Can you not figure it out?
The information's been out since last Friday, but obviously not a lot of people have social media. So I will pull up what sections you are wearing, and if you have questions, feel free to actually call. I could probably answer a few questions.
505-246-0610. Reach out to Carlos Tenorio, and he will hold your hand on something you can easily Google.
Carlos, what are you wearing? Are you like right at the edge?
Yeah,
lingerie section. You like wearing half red, half white? Like how's that working?
So the student section tomorrow is white. Both ends behind the basket are white. So the student section, like last year, will be rocking white. I will not be there tomorrow, actually, and that kills me so much in my Lobo fandom. But we have a sold-out student section. Student section sold out this morning for the rest of the arena. So we will have a good contingent of students during winter break, which I'm very happy to say. Small victories for me because the rest of the Mountain West has done very poorly during winter break with student turnout. Right? Understandably.
Am I confused on what winter break is?
Still going on.
Why?
No idea.
No, it is not. I see students in Nob Hill. There's no way it's going on.
UNM doesn't come back until January the 21st.
Yeah, the students you're seeing are out day drinking, Fred, because they're on winter break.
APS and whatever. I know there's an elementary school or some kind of school located around the UNM campus. I think it's Jefferson Middle School, but yeah, regular APS schools back in session, but UNM is
there are lots of schools over there. Like
I don't leave campus very much unless I'm coming here or going to arenas. So I don't know what schools are located by UNM.
It's interesting coming into this one for the Lobos because their last one was a big one. And in my opinion, you can't play down. In my opinion, you have to make examples of teams you're supposed to beat. And against Nevada, it was not that for the Lobos. It was barely scraping by, literally barely scraping by. But you can carry that momentum, right? Like if you're a glass half full guy, you're saying, "Hey, they won a close one," and a coach that knows us. Here's the thing about Alfred: he don't know you no more. He don't think about you. He don't care about you. It was a blip on his radar. I need you to lose this obsession that you currently have, Lobo fan. It's unhealthy.
Yeah, for real.
But I'm going to tell you this: San Diego State is the measuring stick. I know they got a loss in the conference. They are the measuring stick. They have done it on the brightest stage, the best way anyone in this conference has done it. And if the Lobos get a chance, they will have a chance. If the Lobos are victorious, now you start having a real conversation. Now you start talking January into February, revving up for the Mountain West tournament, the tournament that actually matters after that. They need to not lose another game for the rest of the year, which is a crazy concept.
Well, definitely at home. You got to represent, you got to protect your house at home. They're only, air quotes, only 3.5 point favorites at home against San Diego State. I think this one's going to be a test of the big men because San Diego State can knock it around down low. We got Donovan Dent. He's going to be balling out no matter what. That we can guarantee. I think the game's really going to be won in the paint. And San Diego State can represent down low. How is New Mexico going to keep answering?
It's going to be a big test. Obviously, San Diego State's lost a lot of their guys. Their two main guys, Jane Ledee and Lamont Butler, but that means nothing. Brian Dutcher there at San Diego State always has a well-coached team there. I want to say his first name is Marlon Bird. I'll probably got that one wrong, but he's become a big star this year for the Aztecs as well. And it's always such a good rivalry between the two teams. Obviously, UNM finally pulling their weight after a decade of being in slumber. But if they can pull this out, and with the round robin system now in the Mountain West, where every team plays everybody twice instead of the Lobos play San Jose State once, and not everyone plays twice. You win one game, you're tied. There's different tiebreakers that go into that. So you don't have to worry about, okay, well, we played UNLV once, we lost to them once. So, now we got to deal with this, that, and the other. So huge opportunity. Then they go back to Viejas on February the 25th as well. So those are your two big games, your road trip to Boise State, your road trip to Logan, Utah as well. So
yeah, you're way out ahead of this one though, brother.
One game at a time, obviously.
No, you're too far out ahead. The one game at a time is cliche, but what it is Utah State is probably a top 30 ranked team. San Diego State is number 30 if they're not top 30.
Yeah.
And then the Lobos are way down. Like, beat the next one, get in the conversation.
Right.
And then after that, that's what matters. Because, no, Fred, the Lobos are not way down. You don't know anything, Fred. You don't watch the game. Fred, I'm a Lobo. I know. I'm telling you. And I don't have the net rankings. I don't have them in front of me. But I know there are 25 teams that have numbers next to their name. Probably Utah State right after that. Probably San Diego State after that. Fred, they haven't lost in conference. Fred, they haven't been. I need you to shut up. I need you to understand that they have name value. They have recognition.
Sure. That's the big part right there.
That's the one. So does Boise State.
You can expect them to be there every year. And then the Lobos, without having a good long stretch of success, they have to be the darling at the end of the season. It's prove it time for the Lobos throughout this stretch, and you will build up that respect throughout the season. Because Mountain West fan, you see this happen every year. Very rarely does a Mountain West team have that early season respect,
right,
to where they're getting votes early in the season. What usually happens is throughout the season, you prove your worth and you slowly climb up the top 25. Because it does not surprise me at all right now that there is not a single Mountain West team in the top 25. You see it every single year. But throughout the year, the cream will rise and they'll claw their way in the top 25. And then there'll be 5 or 6 in the top 25 at the end of the year, top 30 at the end of the year.
We're at the Rio Rancho Event Center where you hear some monster trucks starting up because they're positioning themselves around the venue. It is a banger of an event tonight, the Toughest Monster Truck Tour. That starts at 7. What we're going to do is grab a break, and when we get back, we have a really important announcement. So if you're the type who jumps off the commercial break and then comes back at whatever midpoint of jokes we're telling, be here immediately after the commercial break. We're telling you what the Cumulus family of networks is doing to support those in need in Southern California. It's 2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Two Men On. We got a pretty big announcement here. The official start of this is Monday. But you know me, I don't wait for anything when it comes to helping others. The date, Wednesday, January 15th. The location, Graphic Connection. You're familiar with Scott Cregan and all of his work over there, 1500 North Renaissance Boulevard, Northeast. It is from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's an entire day. You heard me correctly. What we are doing is we are setting up a gigantic trailer. We're putting a trailer out at Graphic Connections, and we're asking you, friends of the show, we're asking specifically for individuals who have access to some resources or excited to put out a challenge to help others. And, you know, right over there in that neighborhood where Graphic Connection is on Renaissance, there's a what? There's a Costco right there. There's a Sam's Club right there. We're asking for high priority items, clothing, juice, Gatorade, protein bars, nuts, snack items, non-perishable foods, baby formulas, wipes, diapers, toiletries. You know what that is. Dog, cat food, towels, blankets, pillows, gallon Ziploc bags, hand sanitizer, something to distract people from this turmoil. We're talking board games, puzzles, cards, gift cards to the Walmart or reusable grocery bags, extension cords, phone chargers, all those things that individuals in turmoil need. And we are taking those goods. We are driving them ourselves, not me and Van, but the station are driving them over to Los Angeles, and we are distributing as part of a fire relief drive. It is the wildest time right over
Sure.
there, and this station is going to help. Big spoiler before we get into it. You and I have a bunch of friends in the hotel industry here in town.
Mm-hmm.
We don't use their names on air often, but we will hear the Sanjays. So we reached out to the Sanjays, and they and their network of hotels are going to donate a ton of bedding.
Yeah.
So we're going to have that. We're going to take that out. That's going to be incredible. Reached out to Will Cordova over at the Andalus. He is the other network of hotels. He's reaching out to his friends. He's going to challenge them in the hotel industry to donate that as well. Also reached out to our friend Chell Spalding at the Sprouts. All 7 Sprouts locations are donating, get this, Van, a pallet each of water.
Love it.
Yeah, so we're talking 7 gigantic pallets of water. We're going to send that out. Our friend Scott Isham over at Isham Dental, $1,000 in dental supplies. We're talking toothpaste, we're talking brushes, we're talking all the things that help others. And not lastly, and definitely not least, is Locker 505, who today promised us upwards of 40 gigantic bags. Think 55-gallon bags. Think like a black trash bag, but not filled with trash, filled with clothes. And those clothes are going to go out with Cumulus to the West Coast. They're going to go to Los Angeles. The multiple counties and cities that are affected, they are going to be helped by this cluster here in Albuquerque. And we're very excited because, and I'm not one to get over empathetic with things. I'm not one to put an emphasis where it's not deserved. But when New Mexico needed help, we're talking about Ruidoso. When New Mexico needed help, we're talking about multiple aspects.
Sure.
Individuals came and individuals helped us. And I'm going to say this, New Mexico is always the first to help others as well. The favor to be returned. And, you know, the story is no one deserves to lose their home. You know, you look at the internet, jokes about James Woods. You look at the internet, jokes about Paris Hilton. You look at the internet, millionaires with regular problems.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you this, no one deserves to lose their home. And there are so many people currently affected by this current disaster, and they are going to be helped not just by us, but by gigantic entities across this country. And how fortunate we are to be in a place to have the listener base that will support us, support them. So if you are able and willing between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Wednesday, January the 15th, we will be out there live for our show.
Right.
We'll be out there and other personalities throughout the course of the day where we'll be supporting through what? Our presence. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have tickets. We're going to route. We're going to do all that stuff we always do to entice people to come out. And we're excited for you, friend of the show, to come and help support that. That is, I'm off of it now. I mean, we're going to revisit it regularly, but just know that the sports animal is doing not just the cluster, KKOB and Magic 99.5 and Ed FM and KRST. And if you've been listening to the Q in the morning, by the way, welcome back, Leah Black, banger of a week.
Sure.
Banger of a week. Her and Carlos Duran are going to join us next week, talk about what they're doing over there. It is a time when we're going to be able to help. So there you go. Big announcement from the cluster. We're doing some things to help others.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. Like, you can make fun of Mel Gibson all you want, James Woods all you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a stretch of some of the most desirable chunk of earth on the planet. But it's not just all millionaires and Hollywood actors and rappers and musicians who own this right. There's real people in the street struggling right now. I know the media portrayed this wildfire as eating up Malibu and eating up the Sunset Strip, but it encompasses way more of Los Angeles and California, just that, and people are struggling. And it's time to reach out and do everything you can, Albuquerque and surrounding areas, and help people in need. I know the reason for the season of giving, like, it just ended. But humanity never ends, and it's time to reach out and give and do everything you can to help people in need.
Love everything about it. Excited to be a part of it. I don't know how behind the curtain we need to go here. Individuals that you hear regularly on this this cluster of radio stations, are going to themselves physically drive out the truck.
Right. So
like,
cool.
it is that kind of thing. So we're wildly excited. We will reach out to all those partners that we always reach out to and say, hey, if you cannot help monetarily, if you cannot help with goods, if you cannot help, services is tough because it's so far away, but you get the idea. We're going to ask for what? We're going to ask for that social media network. We're going to ask for giving. We're going to ask for assistance in that way to help spread the word. So next Wednesday at Graphic Connection, I believe it's 1500 Renaissance. Let me confirm that, man. Next Wednesday at Graphic Connection, we are going to be there all day long, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., 1500 North Renaissance Boulevard, Northeast, where you can start your day with Bob Clark, immediately go into Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Skip Bongino, he's not your guy. But then after that, you got BV and TJ Trout and Eric Strauss, and we are live from there, and the Q will be out there, and all those it's the thing. Go be part of the thing, help us, help some others. We were fortunate to help Ruidoso as well when this happened.
Right.
It is an advantageous spot for us, so we take advantage of the billboard that we are to help others. Final thought.
Charity doesn't care about your state lines.
No.
Charity doesn't care about your political affiliation. We are all Americans. We are all humankind, and there's some people struggling. It's time to reach out and help.
And there's also like this us against the world energy from certain types of people where it's what's a good example? Hey Van, my consumer prices are too high. Because people from California, hear me out. Not big bag California has raised your rent. Not big fat bag California is the reason gas is expensive. Not big bag California is out to get you. California has what in it? People, just like here.
Is California in the room with you right now?
Yeah.
Would you like to point them out?
Like, we are helpers. We are New Mexicans. This is our deal. Be a part of it next Wednesday at Graphic Connection. You're not just going to hear us today. You're going to hear us Monday. You're going to hear us Tuesday. You're going to hear us live on Wednesday.
Right.
And then Thursday, Van and I will put an air tag in that truck, and we'll update you on where it is as it's traveling across the country to LA.
Live call-ins.
Yeah, I will have Darren White call the show.
Yep.
And I'll say, Darren, how did it go in California? And he will say, we dropped everything off and we helped a lot of people, and I found some sweet weed on the way back.
Sweet Chiba.
He says, Bakersfield is lit, yo. Do I have a surprise for Surprise, Arizona?
Got that Humboldt up there, baby.
What is that?
It's a place that grows a lot of weed.
Hey, Fred, have you seen the redwoods? While high? No, I haven't.
Well, it's so far up north, we're not going to mess with the redwoods, but still, I get the sentiment.
Yeah. Hey, the best part of seeing the redwoods? Bong hits before. Like, that's California. Help your bong loving buddies.
Also, let's do everything in our power to help California next week, and let's do everything in our power to embarrass the hell out of San Diego, specifically tomorrow morning.
If we send more help to LA than San Diego sends to LA,
yes,
get on track, sports fan. Figure it out. We already stole your head soccer coach. Let's go.
Boom.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, good work if you can get it.
We're grabbing a break so we can come back. We are 2 hours and like 15-ish minutes away from the start of Monster Truck.
Yeah.
We're at the Rio Rancho Event Center.
They just warmed up my second favorite truck, Smashosaurus. So if you like big ass trucks and you like dinosaurs, boy, do I have the truck for you.
Also, if you like big ass trucks and dinosaurs and you're not here, there's not much other of a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. This is where monster trucks and big ass dinosaurs come together.
Yeah.
It's Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Two Men On. We are live at the Rio Rancho Event Center, where it is monster trucks tonight. That is correct. It is the toughest tour. Come see monster trucks live and in person. We will be here all night. We got a bunch of friends coming out, a bunch of friends of the show. Come see us if you're here. Come say hi to us.
Sure.
We love this stuff. Like, it's so sweet.
They've been warming up the trucks and moving them around. There's the little meet and greet. What is it, 5:30 to 6:30? Is that correct?
Oh, is that correct?
Yeah, they got a little meet and greet. They open up the floor so you can bring your family down here. They only cost like an extra 10 or 15 extra bucks to bring the fam down here. You get it right up on the trucks, and they're working on the lights or the excavators out, making sure the dirt hills are built perfectly. It's going to be a wild night here at Rio Rancho Event Center.
Carson Beck is a hurricane.
Wow.
From being a lottery pick to staying in college. That is wild.
The number allegedly is $4 million, and he could play 2 more seasons, and that would be $8 million.
That's you could buy 4.5 Brock Purdy's with $4 million.
That's unbelievable right there.
Didn't his girlfriend's at Miami? Is that right?
One of the twins.
Yeah.
Girlfriend?
No, he's got like the girlfriend.
Hmm? One of the Cavender, right? Cavender
one
twins.
of the Cavenders.
Yeah.
So, the girls that used to play for UNLV.
No one refers to them that way. You are the one person
who
currently
they're at Miami. You don't bring up Mountain West old stuff when you're a hot twin at Miami.
$4 million?
I don't get it.
I do.
I don't get it. I don't think Carson Beck is $4 million worth of quarterback, but apparently he's got $4 million worth of a quarterback's name.
We're talking about it like right now. We're like $4 million. Like, and I think it's because we're sports talk radio.
Mm-hmm.
People don't really care about this. This is not a conversation we ever have in the streets. This is not brought up to us. No one's asking me about the NIL monies in the streets.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions from sports fan and sports adjacent fan about NIL as a whole. What's it going to look like?
That's true.
How is the industry going to evolve? I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, "Hey, that Carson Beck about to get paid."
I think people love when dudes get paid.
Yeah.
I do anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
You know who doesn't?
Free market.
Haters.
Mm-hmm.
There's a slither of society, too large of a slither, that like if you can't afford a thing, you hate that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had cyber trucks. Okay. Do you?
Well, if you like Cybertrucks, I got good news. There's a Cybertruck monster truck
there is one here
at the Rio Rancho Event Center.
Oh, so cool.
It will be cool.
What does it look like, fan? Like, can you describe this?
Okay, well, it's
a Cybertruck, but like, how beefed up is this Cybertruck?
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess it's not made of real reinforced steel, because I think they stress lightweight materials here. The fine people at the toughest monster truck tour. So I doubt it's like really Cybertruck material, but it looks exactly like a Cybertruck.
I saw them move it earlier, and really I heard it. I don't think it's electric.
Oh, no, it's not electric.
I don't think it's electric.
No.
It's,
the body on top, while probably some kind of plastic
carbon fiber
polymer hybrid.
Yeah.
It does look like one. Does not sound like one.
Yeah.
But it does look like
one. It
one.
looks like one.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Also, I must see this.
There's also
come to the Rio Rancho.
There's one made out of Legos, and when it wrecks, it like falls apart. Yeah, it's freaking
sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. There's a monster truck made out of Legos.
That's so cool. What time does this event start again?
7 o'clock.
Yeah. 7 o'clock.
That's why we're here. We go straight from the radio show to the monster trucks.
Yeah.
Like, this is incredible.
7 p.m. at the Rear Rancho event under you stay low.
Here's what you should do.
That sounds like a blast.
It is a blast.
Run across the hall, get Jeff St. Louis, tell him to cover you. Make your way down.
Uh-huh. Jeff can do both. He's super talented.
He's really good.
Yeah.
He can do TJ and the show. Yeah, I believe in him.
Just do what they used to do and just rerun the first hour of this show.
We could always just send it. We could always just call it a day and send it Saturday.
That's a real thing.
Hey,
Yeah.
There's a truck here called the Tailgater.
Yeah, you know what it looks like?
It's a truck with alligator skin, Carlos.
All right, I'm standing.
It's sweet, bro.
All right, I'm standing up looking at all of them.
Give us a play-by-play here.
All right, there's the Dirt Crew, which is a dump truck looking truck.
Yeah, it's a dump truck.
That one is sweet. There's a front end loader,
which is awesome.
That is used to build the hills, I would assume.
Yes, the actual use
because there's
of a front loader.
There's two there's like a regular hill. There's a splitty hill that has two cars in the middle that are going to be smashed for sure.
A lot of cars getting smashed.
A grip of motorcycles, a huge ramp to where if you hit it fast enough, you could touch the net of the rim.
Correct.
Yeah. And of course, an American flag one because
Rio Rancho Event Center, known for its genius layout. They got the lower bowl seats go right down. They got them blocked off though. Like the first
retracted.
What do you think? The first 5-6 rows covered in tarp because the dirt's gonna be flying, baby.
Oh, yeah. If you are sitting in 212 in the fourth row, like bring your mud shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
pretend it's a Gallagher comedy show.
That's a good one.
Deep cut right there.
Gonna be a banger of an event for sure here at the Rio Rancho
also,
Event
not
Center.
just monster trucks. There is a giant dirt bike ramp here in the middle too. So dirt bikes are going to be flying through the air.
I love this.
Yeah,
and I love that Carson Beck got $4 million a year.
Not a hater. I think he's overrated. I don't think he's the quarterback everyone else thinks he is.
I'm with you there.
But I am
money though.
I get that money, get that bag.
Miami only paid Cam Ward $1.5 million last year.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Was he dating one half of the most famous twins in the country right now?
Could have been.
Yeah,
there's another half.
I think that's there's a little more than just the play on the field that goes into signing Carson Beck.
Most famous twins.
Double Mint.
Olsen.
Peaks.
Twin Peaks. The series or the actual mountains?
Bar.
Mm-hmm.
David Robinson, Tim Duncan.
Those are the towers, weren't they?
Yeah, Twin Towers.
Towers?
I just thought that was a good one.
Never forget.
Never forget when Tim Duncan and David Robinson patrolled the front court.
Yes. How could you ever
San
forget?
Antonio Spurs.
It's the most.
Oh, wait. Did you say never forget because of the Alamo and they're in San Antonio?
Of course I did.
So what you meant was remember.
Yeah.
Remember
remembering is the same as never forgetting.
That's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Were there twins in WWE? Like female twins? I can't remember their names right now. The Bella twins.
Why are you yelling like everyone didn't know that?
Every couple of years there's new twins, right?
They do kind of do that.
I think the WWE employs more twins than any other industry.
Well, he said lady, but the real answer is the Usos.
Are they twins?
Yeah, they're twins.
Huh.
Jimmy and Jay Uso.
I thought I was just being like
racist.
Culturally insensitive.
You're being racist.
Yeah. I'm proud of myself. Some of them do look alike. Huh.
Them twins?
Them twins, exactly.
Albuquerque Comic-Con is next week. I have my panels, man. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
And also I have the list because you have to sign up for yours. I am hosting the Saved by the Bell panel.
Ooh.
The WWE Legends panel.
Okay.
The AEW Wrestling panel.
Oh, WWE and AEW in the same building?
And the Lord of the Rings panel.
Oh, okay.
Heard that was a very precious panel to get.
Well done, Carlos.
Aaron Buck Burnett is hosting the Outsiders panel. And he's hosting
what if the weather's bad?
It's the movie.
Oh.
He's hosting the Breaking Bad panel. And I have good news for you. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, available. You want it?
I'm going to have to do some research, but sure, why not?
You will not have to do some research. You will know everything about this.
Not that type of research, Carlos.
It's 2 Men On, live from the Rio Rancho Event Center. Monster trucks tonight. Woo! The sports animal.
This
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. Big college football game tonight. I'm Fred Slow. You are Van Nunley. Carlos Tenorio back at the studio. And we are at the Rio Rancho Event Center because it is the toughest tour monster truck tonight. Start your engines at 7 o'clock. Well, you, friends of the show, start your engines way before. Come out to the Rio Rancho Event
Naturally,
Center.
yeah.
But, it's going down at 7 o'clock, so it's going to be a wild good one.
Let's be bringing the fam. Hurry up and get out here. Meet and greet 5:30 to 6:30. Come touch a truck.
It's awesome. Who you got tonight, boys?
I got the Smashosaurus. So
right, that's not what I'm asking.
I think
Ohio State and Texas.
Oh, football?
Yeah.
Never mind. Thought we're talking trucks still.
Nope.
Okay.
Give me the Buckeyes on this one.
Big
Why?
favorites going into this game. Last time I saw, I could be mistaken. I don't know. Ohio State's playing really good football right now. I think they got a
They're
great
not
match
a big favorite. Why are you saying this? It's like a point and a
They
half.
blew out.
It's
They
6-point favorite.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, give me Ohio State on that one. They did blow out Oregon in their last game as well. So
Guys,
give me a Buckeyes Notre Dame national championship.
Both of you shut up. Here is the truth. This thing opened at 1.5. They got all the betting to go the way they wanted. Now it's looking like a 6. I'm telling you, don't let that thing fool you. This is Texas going away.
Okay, hard disagree. I'm with Carlos on this one. Texas is outmatched. Texas is going to win the national championship next year with Arch Manning at the helm and every other transfer portal athlete going to Texas to play with Arch Manning. Texas is going to go undefeated and win the Natty next year. But this year, Ohio State will dominate Texas. They are outmatched. They're outclassed. Smith and Ibuka are going to get 100 yards receiving or more apiece. It's going to be complete domination from the Buckeyes. Better luck next year, Tejas.
I'm confused. Did they move the game from Dallas? Am I confused? Is this not a home game for the Texas Longhorns? Am I confused? Do they not have Quinn Ewers? Am I confused?
I'd take Carson Beck over Quinn Ewers.
There's your take of the day.
Yeah. Quinn Ewers also overrated. He's inflated by the rest of his team.
Inflated is the confidence that Ohio State fan should have right now. Burnt Sienna boys in Texas where the lights are brightest and bigger. I'm telling you. What is it right now? You said 6?
Yep, 6.
Texas and the points going away.
Oh, man. Yeah, Texas is going to get embarrassed. Ohio State's just too good. I get the brand. Texas is about to be back. God. Texas is about to be on top of the mountain again. I am super stoked for the rise of the burnt orange, the burnt sienna.
Texas 38, Ohio 28. Oh, I am telling you. It's a shootout in Dallas.
Absolute crazy talk.
The Texans victorious. All right, first of all, these things. This is where Texas is better. Are you familiar with the offense? Better. Are you familiar with the defense? Better.
Maybe.
Are you familiar with the special teams? Better.
Definitely not.
What?
Yeah. The defense is a push. Ohio State's offense is miles ahead. Ohio State's special teams is miles ahead. I feel like they should be like 13.5-point favorites right now. But you can't do that in a championship game because it doesn't matter. More than 6 points, more than a touchdown, like that's saying that you could win by 7 or 37.
Am I confused on the rankings? Is Texas not sitting in the 3 seed? Am I confused on how they're multifaceted? And I swear you're making me so mad right now. How they are able to, at the drop of a decision really on their part, dominate with nearly 300 yards rushing against high-end opponents, and then when they need to, rush the ball for even under 30 yards and still be victorious. They can do anything, and they're going to do everything they want against Ohio State. I take back my prediction. I said 38-28. Nah, 42-0.
All right, now those are the ramblings of a maniac there. Ohio State, their whole team is going to the NFL.
Smash them more.
If the 22 starters on Ohio State doesn't make it to the NFL, they are underperforming. They are absolute studs. They're the best roster in all of college football, Oregon included, Georgia included, Notre Dame included, their opponent, Texas included, the losers at Penn State, they're included, Tennessee, Boise, Indiana. Every team that's in the college playoffs wishes they had Ohio State's roster. They're studs.
Ohio State's been out on a mission since the Michigan game.
Oh, you're mentioning how they lost to unranked Michigan? That's crazy. Did Texas do that?
Still in the playoffs. That's the thing about the playoffs, though. It's you just got to be hot. Ohio State's hot right now. They're scorching hot. And, I think it's going to be a lot closer than the 6. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. And if you're Texas, that's built, bulletin board material. That's an insult to you as a Longhorn. But I don't know. Buckeyes just
that game against Oregon, they just looked
Texas
dominant.
Texas is lucky it's only 6. Ohio State, 2 losses to number 1 Oregon, the first game of the year, because their quarterback didn't know how to take a knee. That's the only reason Ohio State lost against Oregon.
That, first of all, that is a 15-week-old take.
And then a bloody battle with their rival Michigan, which flip a coin. It doesn't matter who has the best roster any given year. Ohio State versus Michigan gets real weird. Besides that, they have dominated everyone they face. Ohio State has the best roster in the country. They will beat Texas into a bloody pulp.
13-10. That's what Michigan beat Ohio State. They couldn't manage 2 tutties against a booty Michigan team. I'm telling you this. Hey, that loss to Georgia, that was tough. 22-19 for the Texans. That's a tough one. I said Texans, but you know what I meant. This is a matchup of destiny of this national championship of Notre Dame and Texas, where every jerk uncle you have has to fist fight your best friend's jerk uncle.
Sure.
That's what this is coming down to.
Texas almost got beat by Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt. They got whooped by Georgia. They are not as strong as you think they are.
I'm going to give you
can't even say good win in Alabama. Look how the tide turned out this year.
Ohio State 6-point favorite. Texas to cover.
And still lose?
Nope. Over under 51.5. Take the over.
God, I mean, you got to go money line then. Yeah, definitely go over.
Go money line. Yeah, go money line.
Ohio State scoring in the 40s against Texas, so definitely bet the over. Ohio State by double digits and the over.
The money line's 206.
Smoke them.
This is a steal.
Double up on your money, baby. You're that confident.
Is today payday? Here's what you're doing, friends of the show.
Okay. Depends. You get paid weekly?
I don't know. It's Friday.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully it's a payday for you. All right, here's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the weekend. Pockets Fred slow. Go tall on this one. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Trust your boy on Texas. At Talk ABQ. Thank me all weekend on social media.
Yeah, put a picture of your ticket and how much you lost when you're wishing you would have listened to me. Texas is outmatched.
It can even go to overtime because that's when Quinn Ewers is even more impressive.
Oh, his running backs are impressive. Quinn Ewers overrated.
Threw 2 of his 3 tutty passes in overtime as he completed 20 of 30 for 322. He's a stud. That's obviously I'm talking about Arizona State. You know what I'm saying? Stud. Big one tonight. When's that game kickoff?
Is that another 5:30, or does they put that one later on a Friday?
I don't know.
That is a 5:30 kickoff.
5:30.
So a little bit. So get your bets in here now.
What bets? You mean lineups? We give you our prize picks whenever we get back from the break. It's 2 Men On, live from the Rio Rancho Event Center, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. According to Prize Picks, we're 28 minutes away from the start of Ohio State and Texas. Promo code KNML, and we'll give you 50 doll hairs on your first $5 bet.
Heck of a deal.
Heck of a deal.
Free money.
Let's do it.
I've heard there's no such thing.
Says who?
Proving them wrong.
Says a liar. I don't know why I said liar like that. What we will have to do is set our Prize Picks now.
Yes.
And then after.
Yeah,
we'll make a big announcement. But we're going to interrupt the broadcast. So our friend from Monster Truck, Darren Basil, is going to join us. He just came up to the suite. He's going to throw a headset on because they're doing the big fan introduction right now. So it's the VIP, show up early, be a part of the thing. Friend of the show, Darren, welcome. We're excited to have you. Put that bad boy right in front of your mouth. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. Short notice.
Yeah, well, and that was the thing, right? We reached out. We said, hey, who can we have? And we can have him. And Kelly, who runs the whole show, she's like, we'll have somebody up pretty quick. So here we go. All right, so welcome, my friend. Give us a little bit of an idea of what's going on tonight at the Monster Truck.
Well, right now we're just getting ready for the pit party to open up. Where the fans come in, kick the tires, talk to all the drivers, get their autographs, and just see how big these things are up close in person.
Well, they're gigantic.
They are.
I can see that from afar.
And I think we drive those things indoors.
All right, so I'm a little starstruck right now. I'm going to kick it to you straight, brother. Blockhead is my favorite truck.
Well,
I'm really excited. I'm a big Lego guy.
Yeah.
So, like, you got a living Lego truck out there. How does it feel to have the coolest truck everywhere you go?
It's pretty awesome. I mean, you take two things that kids love, monster trucks and
adults
and
too.
adults.
I mean, come on.
And you smash them together and you come up with this big identity. And it's been a hit everywhere we go. The fans love it. I love driving it because the fans get behind you. So it's always been a good time.
How much does the show change up? I know you tour the country, you go to different venues all over it. Is it relatively wash, rinse, repeat, or are you able to incorporate different aspects based on the venue size and the audience?
It all depends on the venue size.
Yeah.
I mean, this track we have three
gigantic.
We have 3 lanes, and then the smaller ones only get 2 lanes. But the jumps are still the same size, so you have to do what you do in this building in a smaller venue, but it looks twice as big because you're so much closer.
Okay, so I know who I'm rooting for. We've established that. Who's Blockhead's rival? Who do I root against?
Good note.
Who's the bad guy here?
Everybody.
Oh, yes.
If they're on the track when I'm on the track, they're going down.
And there is like a scoring aspect to it, right? It is a tour.
It is. I mean, we start out here in Rio Rancho, and we end at our finals in put me on the
somewhere
South Dakota.
Yeah, Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah,
There we go.
Falls. And the accumulation starts today. You get points, and the one with the most points at the end gets big.
Because this is the 2025. This is the start to the 2025. This is the Daytona of Monster Truck.
All the trucks are 100% worked on over the winter time, so they are 100% ready to go, and we're going to come out here and rip some parts off of them.
Darren Basil is with us. He drives monster trucks. So you picked this job when you were 5 years old.
Pretty much. Everyone always asked me what I was going to do, and I tell them I'm going to race a monster truck, and they'd always just laugh at me. So here I am now.
Yeah. Suck it, Mr. Smith.
Yeah,
I did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can go to toughestmonstertrucks.com. All the details are available there for tonight's events. I know they have tickets available at the walk-up. If you're coming down, if you're in the Rio Rancho Event Center area, hop on over. If you're downtown, leave now. Come hang out with your boys. We're going to be here all night celebrating and hooting and hollering from our suite. As you do start the season, right? As you get into the I guess they don't have doors. As you get into the window for the first time, what is a punch-in moment for you like? Like, how do you get into game mode?
I mean, I don't get too worked up about it. I get a little more nervous than anything because you want the truck to perform.
Yeah.
And those butterflies don't go away until I hit that first ramp. And once I get over that first ramp, it's all smooth sailing. It's all comes back to you, and you go out there and just have fun and make sure that the fans go home happy.
But was there like a learning curve to be a monster truck driver? Did you have to like start with, smaller vehicles and work your way up, or did you just go straight to the top?
Well, I started out in truck pulling when I was in high school.
Okay.
And these were always at the end of my events. And that looked like way more fun than pulling a sled 300 feet. So I started as a crew guy and then worked my way into knowing anything about the truck, and then got myself a driving job. So now I'm a crew / driver, and we have a team that runs with us all year long to help crew on it. And there is a learning curve. The first time you ever drive one, you think you're 40 feet in the air hauling the mail. You're barely just crawling over them. So every show you learn something that you can do better, and watching video helps a lot too.
Joining us on the program, and like I said, not to be a guy that's like overhyping what shouldn't be hyped. This deserves hyperbole. Like, this is as big as it gets, as entertaining as it gets. Darren Basil's with us. He drives who tonight? Blockhead. Tailgater is here. The Veteran is here. Smashosaurus is here. All your favorites. I think I'm gonna throw you a curveball here. Freestyle motocross might be my favorite.
Oh yeah, those guys are crazy. They do the most insane stuff without a cage. When they land, it's gonna hurt.
They get them and they get down. Family 4-packs are available for tonight's performance. You can get that pit party. It starts in just a handful of minutes.
Sure.
Goes till 6:30, and then the engines start again at 7 for the big show. How long does it last?
It's generally about an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Almost 2 hours. Yeah.
Dang, get you home pretty quick. I like that.
It's nice. We try and keep the show flow going, keep the fans excited, and we jump them as big as we can in a small building.
If you're on your way over and you want to get tickets digitally, you can. They are on Ticketmaster, or you can follow the link of the aforementioned website. That is toughestmonstertrucks.com. I'm looking at it. Get them at the door. Your best bet's going to be at the door, because there are so many sold here. So just how incredible this is. Yeah, how wild.
It's a great show. They don't call it the toughest tour for nothing. I mean, these are the toughest jumps you're going to have to do in a small arena and not flip over. And there's going to be some rollovers. It happens every year.
This is why first time you went upside down and landed right side up. What was that energy?
I mean, it happens so fast sometimes that you don't even know it until you're back upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's super slow and it feels like slow motion. It's like, why didn't I save it? And then sometimes you're over and back on your tires before you even know it. So it all depends on how fast you're going.
Van and I grew up Midwesty, right? Van grew up right outside Houston. I grew up right outside St. Louis, Missouri. And we grew up in this world. We were regularly able to, as kids, come here in Albuquerque, here in Rio Rancho. Not as many exposures for young kids. Yeah. There'll be a lot of kids seeing Monster Truck for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and those are the fun ones, because their eyes are like big as saucers going, oh my goodness, these things are massive.
Yeah. Recommend a headphone right now. Recommend an earplug. Which one should people get on the way over?
I use the foam inserts because they fit in my helmet. So yeah, they're going to be loud inside this building.
Darren Basil is with us. We're talking the world of Monster Truck. We were talking everything involved with it. You spend more time wrenching than you spend driving, right?
You do. We spend all week long preparing these trucks so we can go out here for about 5 minutes with a runtime. It's a 2-hour show, but we're only running for 5-10 minutes if you add it all up. But it's the wildest 5 to 10 minutes you're going to watch. And we do some damage, and then we work on them again, put them all back together, and then do it all over again next weekend.
Any cool tricks you've been working on in the off season? Anything you're excited to show off tonight?
I've done a few backflips last year.
Ooh, wait.
This venue isn't set up for a backflip, but this venue's set up for high flying, go straight up 40 feet in the air, come back down, slap wheelies, stoppies, all kinds of cool stuff.
So wild.
That's
cool.
Awesome.
All right, now help me understand. I'm looking right now at the Smashosaurus, right? I'm looking right at it.
Yep.
Like, looks good. It's got a good look. I don't understand price tags at all. I see that tire, and I think that single tire is $100,000. Like, I have no clue.
No, that's about $3,000 per tire.
Oh my god!
Then you put $1,000 wheel in it.
The tires are worth more than my entire truck.
Yeah, the truck I drive, we built mid-season last year. It's never been indoors. This will be the first show it's been indoors.
Oh, cool!
And that cost about $285,000 to build it.
Wild, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's a pretty expensive sport, but someone's got to do it.
How many 10mm sockets do you go through in a season?
Luckily none, because there's only one 10mm that we need, and that's for the alternator wire.
The steering wheel.
So we very rarely ever have to use that one.
We're having a lot of fun as Darren Basil is with us. He is a monster trucker. Is that what you tell people on your dating app? You go, Darren, monster trucker.
Well, if I wasn't married, I'd probably use it.
Is it a family? Is it a family affair? Is it a business like that?
A lot of families do travel with their siblings and stuff like that. I work for a team, and the owner drives Dirt Crew, the dump truck, and his wife travels with him. They have a business at home that they run, and then they do this on the weekend to blow off steam.
Yeah.
So
you And you don't ship dirt, right? Like they have dirt for you. It's not like it travels the country.
Yeah, I think they own the dirt and it sits on site somewhere, or they have it shipped
Yeah.
from a site.
Yeah.
And they just use it every year.
Cool.
We actually found parts from last year out there in the dirt. They
Oh, yeah, that's so funny.
You're like, I remember this bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Is it like, I'm just imagining, because I've never been in a monster. I don't know anything about it. It would be the coolest thing in the world, right? But I feel like if I had to go back to driving just like on I-25,
Oh, yeah,
I would not be able to handle it.
Yeah, you wish you had it when you're stuck in traffic, because nothing gets in your way with one of these.
I know.
What is top speed on one of these guys? I know how powerful and torquey they are, but what's top speed?
Depending on the venue, the fastest I've ever been was down a long track, about 75 miles an hour.
That's very fast.
Which
Yeah,
doesn't
hitting one of
seem
those.
fast, but when you're that high in the air with tires that are rated for 30 miles an hour, it
Yeah.
gets pretty squirrely.
Oh man.
Darren Basil is with us. He drives monster trucks. We were doing monster trucks tonight. It's the toughest tour van. Monster trucks are at the Rio Rancho Event Center. You can come hang out with us. They start their competition. The tour starts tonight at 7 p.m. Last question before we let you go. What is the one thing individuals, fans of monster truck, are going to see tonight that they don't expect to see?
Probably how far in the air we get in one of these buildings. I mean, they're debuting a brand new body truck today.
Yeah.
The Cyber Attack.
We saw that.
Yeah.
So they're going to see that, but mainly the big air. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, how do they go that high and to get them stopped?
Yeah.
Time? So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Just wild and incredible. Darren, thank you so much. Thank you for making time. We know you got to go downstairs and hang out with the fans. We appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
Whenever we get back from the break, more from the Rio Rancho Event Center. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Minute In. What a fun sit down.
That's cool.
I love that stuff.
That's cool. When you see a guy like living his dream, you know it. You see it like the way his posture, the way he sits down in a chair, like he loves the life that he lives right now. And it's so cool to see a dude like that.
I think there's going to be a lot of points tonight in this big bowl game in just 11 minutes. And we're doing our prize picks. Promo code KNML. You use KML when you sign up for the prize picks. We will give you $50 on your first $5 bet. I'm going to take both Bert Auburn and Jaden Fielding. Those are the kickers tonight. Yeah. I'm going to take more on both of them. I think with the combination of field goals and extra points, because I'm going kicking points.
Yeah.
I think the 6 and 7 respectively, both are very smart.
Yeah, I agree. I really like Auburn for Texas to get at least 6 kicking points because I believe Ohio State will stop Texas in field goal range, and he'll get some field goal opportunities. I love the Ohio State's wide receivers, Emeka Egbuka and Jeremiah Smith. Like, I don't even care what you want to do with them. If you want to get touchdowns or receptions or yards, I really like Jeremiah Smith more than 5.5 receptions and Egbuka over in yardage. But you mix and match however you feel. But I think the Ohio State wide receivers are both the 1-2 punch are both going to put in some work today.
Oh, God, that's an interesting one. The tight end Gee Scott I also like because his receptions is only 1.5.
Sure.
And I feel like 2 is really realistic.
Yeah.
If you were going to try to play a demon on that, I say only do it if you're doing Flex Friday. Like that's my opinion here. Brother, you think
one of my favorites out of this game is Texas tight ends. So Ewers checks down a lot. So Gunnar Helm, I think he's going to get a lot of receptions, a lot of yards.
Only had 3 versus Arizona State, which makes me say, did have 6 against Clemson. Terrible against Georgia, just the 1 catch. Otherwise, he's a 5 or 6 guy. So 3.5 with a Green Goblin seems safe.
Yeah, that's super safe.
4.5 with a Demon.
I really like the 45.5 more receiving yards for Gunnar Helm. I think they're gonna have to check down a lot because Ohio State's secondary is really good. And then not only that, I think they're also going to be chasing, and Gunnar Helm is Quinn Ewers' favorite or second favorite target. So he's going to rack up some for sure.
All right. So there is pass rush yards for Will Howard. Okay. Only Will Howard, 262.5. How do you feel about it?
I'm not crazy about the quarterbacks because I think the running backs are going to eat a lot too. I really like the skill position players, like the running backs, the wide receivers. I think everyone on both sides of the ball are going to rack up some yards. I don't know how much is going to go to each quarterback respectively. I do like Will Howard's more Goblin touchdowns. More than 1.5 Goblin touchdowns. I think that's a super safe one if you're okay with putting a little green on your lineup.
Goblin touchdowns are not worth it to me.
Yeah.
The return's not there.
They're safe for a reason.
So you think because we can go under on pass yard or less because we're using verbiage. So
I like the less on Quinn Ewers passing yards. I think he's going to get right around 250, 240, 250. And he's sitting like, what is it, 265 right
242.5.
242.5
is where he is on the more or less.
Oh, my goodness. So he's been trending down.
And Will Howard is 250 more or less. He's been over 3 the last 2 games, but he doesn't even come close to 2 any other game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Ewers more
by a hair. Yeah, I think it's just going to be right around there. And Ewers is going to get it all in the second half for garbage time.
I almost want to take a demon on him, dude. I think he can go 270.
All right. I applaud the confidence.
You don't think so?
Both him and Texas. Yeah.
Man.
I like the playmakers eating. So they got some really good playmakers on both sides of the ball. I got Travion Henderson going over a paltry little 51.5 rushing yards. I think he'll hit that pretty easy.
So his rush receive is 81.5, and that's what I want to play on?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he'll hit 51.5 rushing pretty easy. Again, I really like Jeremiah Smith. they're doing their best when he's getting the ball fed. And then he can, like, one thing that could happen, you could see this go either way with Smith or Ibuka. Smith can have a big first half, then they key on him, they double him or put a spy on him. Next thing you know, Ibuka's getting fed, and both of them have great games.
All right, now hear me out. If you're afraid of the yardage, how do you feel about the attempts? Because if Howard is at 30.5 and Quinn Ewers is at 33.5, if Texas is chasing, Ewers is going to have to hit the 33.
I think that's a pretty good one. Also, I like Howard less than 30 because I think they're going to be more efficient.
I think I like them both less.
Yeah. I like Howard less for sure because I think they're going to try to establish the run and then play off of it and play action to their stud wide receivers.
I'm following your direction here. So with you claiming it's going to be a bad passing game, what I'm going to do is keep my kickers for their mores because I do think tutties are going to be scored. I'm then going to take the lesses on pass attempts. And then with Henderson, I'm going to go more on the 81.5 rush and receiving.
I like it.
And then I'm going to, let me see who else I got rushing it. Who's the blue? Is he the kid from, no, that's not the good one. Wisner, that's the other kid. So, God, that's a tough one. I just don't love it. I just don't trust it.
Yeah, my three favorite that I've put in multiple lineups is Gunnar Helm over 45.5 receiving yards, Travion Henderson more than 51.5 rushing yards, and Jeremiah Smith more than 5.5 receptions. Those are my big three this game. I think those are, as far as I could say lock, those are locks.
I'm with you. I got both the kickers going more on points. I got Henderson going more on 81.5 rush and receiving. I got Will Howard and Quinn Ewers both going less on pass attempts. I got Gunnar Helm going more than 45.5. Let's go, Van.
Boom.
It's a pretty good little lineup here. When we get back from the break, we continue from the Rio Rancho Event Center. It's Two Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. We're live at the Rio Rancho Event Center. There's Monster Truck tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. We are a couple minutes away from the start of the college football game. That's going to be also a lot of fun. Oh, we're less than a minute away. Wild.
That's a really cool moment right here at Rio Rancho Event Center as a bunch of families are down in the pit checking out the trucks and taking pictures with the driver and getting all their questions answered by, I mean, this is just looks so absolutely cool.
Super fun. Super fun. Lots of NFL playoffs this weekend. We obviously will spend a lot of time talking about that. Before we do, though, heartfelt story. The Arizona Cardinals sent out their team plane to Los Angeles and picked up the Rams, who are now going to play their playoff game in Arizona. They have a 777. Is that a plane? So they sent that out there, picked up. Here's the official number. The Rams team, the staff, the family, 6 dogs, 2 cats.
Okay. That is one way to do it.
This is what sports is. You know, I think there's a stupid conversation often amongst sports fan where you have to hate other teams. You have to hate other players. You have to hate whatever.
Yeah.
But the Bidwells win again as the Arizona Rams now moving forward.
Yeah, you might be surprised, friend of the show, that not all these teams, not all these players, even on the oldest, deepest rivalries in all of sports, they don't hate each other like you think they do.
No.
It's only a couple guys here and there that you hear stories about that have like real deep-seated resentment, and it's usually because of interpersonal relations. It's not because you wear this color, I wear this color, I hate you. No, they all have common goals for a common cause, and they're all in a brotherhood, and they support and help each other.
The common goal and the common cause is Kurt Warner.
He's a dude. He's
the connection. Him and Aeneas Williams, those are the two.
Dude.
Those two guys are the glue that made this thing happen. And if that's not true, in my heart it is.
Sure. But I mean, your answer to everything is Kirk Cousins already. So like, this doesn't surprise me either that you made that leap of logic.
Well, and it's not like Arizona's team plane will ever get any use in January anyways. So you might as well send it out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great place. As we know, it's a great place to host a Super Bowl. We were just there recently. Phoenix did it right. But I don't think the team is going to be there for a while. So milk it.
I know. I don't think we've really announced it on air, but your boys are going to the Super Bowl. You know, we go every single year. Like, we're really excited about it. We just kind of got every last detail worked out today. It's kind of a wild process on how it works. We should do like a whole inside radio on it.
Sure.
I've been going for a long, long time, which helps us in this scenario. But not does everyone get in. You know what I mean? It's something crazy, like thousands of media outlets like attempt to go. And myself many, many times, and you to the 100 percentile, which is wild, we're able to have access. So we will be out there Super Bowl week live from Radio Row. The best interviews in sports, the individuals, the teams that survive these playoffs, we will have access to them. We will connect with them. We will tell their stories. We're wildly excited. And I do think if the Rams are victorious this weekend, Los Angeles is not going to be an option moving forward. You cannot play there with everything that's currently going on. And Brad, the stadium's not under fire. What are you talking about? It's not about that. It's about exhausting the services that are.
Right.
You cannot ask EMTs and police officers and municipal employees to stand at a football game while the entirety of the week they're out battling fires and saving lives. Like, there just isn't the resources And if you were going to do it, number one, taste. Let's talk about that.
Wildly insensitive. Like, why would you have a Rams playoff game? Why would you have a Lakers home basketball game when you know people yards away, feet away, definitely miles away are struggling as bad as they are? It's just so insensitive. It's so out of character to try to put on an event like that when you know how bad people so close to you have it at that exact moment.
You don't ever want anyone to struggle. Like, that's a fact.
Well, not exactly. I mean, I did kind of get a smirk, a little half smile when I heard Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles again. But besides that, no, I don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want anyone to suffer. Besides Deshaun Watson.
The Cardinals, that community, that St. Louis community, Phoenix community.
Oh, man, you still got PTSD too.
Well,
speaking of struggling,
all right, first of all, St. Louis Cardinals, St. Louis Rams, St. Louis Cardinals again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came through. And it's like tragedies bring this stuff out.
Yes.
And we obviously made an announcement earlier in the show, but the Cumulus Family Network, the network of stations, we are doing some wild, important stuff for California fire relief. And it's this Wednesday, the Sports Animal and the Cumulus Family stepping up, to help those in need from the fires in California, collecting clothing and non-perishable items for fire victims. Graphic Connection, which is over there at 1500 Renaissance Boulevard. Drop off your donations from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. You and I personally are going to effort a bunch of volunteers to load those donations onto trucks. You're going to see Duke City Championship wrestlers out there. You're going to see individuals from athletics and university teams around town. You're going to see our friends at the Boys and Girls Club. You're going to see our friends at the YMCA.
Yeah.
All these people are going to come out and they're going to contribute, because that's what these individuals do whenever organizations like ours are helping others. You can go to the sportsanimалabq.com for a list of items and more information. But bottom line, and it's going to sound like a cliche, catchy line, the Sports Animal cares.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Sports Animal cares, the whole cluster cares. And, you mentioned it earlier, all the things that happened, it happens everywhere all the time. Let's not kid ourselves, but what Las Vegas just went through, Las Vegas, New Mexico just went through, what Ruidoso just went through. We as New Mexicans, we felt the love from surrounding areas, and now it's time to reciprocate that and really take care of others like we were just so recently helped.
It's not forgotten too to hear.
Sure.
And there was, Fred, we didn't get the coverage that it got. Fred, we didn't get, I know, guys, I know.
Right.
It's hard. When you feel harm, it's hard. But I'm telling you, it is not just Steve Gutenberg's house that burned down.
Yeah.
That is not what it is. It's not weirdo celebrity turned politic boot-licking weirdos.
Correct.
Whose houses burned down. It is communities. It is people. It is families. We are going to do the small part we are going to do to help. So many other organizations across the country are going to do the exact same thing. And that's going to be awesome.
Correct. Yeah. And again, I will harp on this point. Professional sports organizations don't hate each other like they think you do. No. State to state does not hate each other like you think it does. The loudest voices on your favorite news program, the loudest voices on your favorite social media platform, that is a tiny percentage of human beings. Most people who aren't on the far extreme of each side of whatever we're talking about right now, most people in the middle are decent, reasonable, kind, loving human beings who will, at the drop of a hat, help each other and support each other and care for each other. We're being portrayed as Americans, and break it down a little further, as human beings in general, as never being as divided as we have been in human history. I will flat out say untrue. The loudest voices on each side of whatever spectrum it may be are the most divided they've ever been. Not us in the middle, who are kind and compassionate and loving and care for our other human beings. We still step up when it matters. Doesn't matter what football team you like, what state you live in, what color your state turned after the election. Reasonable people, loving people, kind people will support each other no matter what and step up every time.
Relatively new is a lot of the identities that people today identify by.
Sure.
For as recently as 200 years ago, as recently as 250 years ago, you identified by your clan. You identified by maybe your religion. You identified by your family.
You're going to be real surprised, friend of the show. Humans didn't have last names until recently. This is new in the human experience. That was like one of our first earliest divisions. It's like we started giving each other last names. Like, wait, where are you from? Where's your last name from? Yeah.
Jackson.
This is
because you were the son
of Jack. Yeah, for sure.
That's it. It's just wild to me. I don't care for that person because they live closer to water than me. Oh my God. Like, yes, you do. And even if you don't, so many people do.
Correct.
And the thing that we do, which we're so very proud of, is we make it easy for individuals to help others.
Yes, sir.
I don't mean me and Van. I mean society.
Mm-hmm.
When we get back from the break, we're still at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Monster Truck is still tonight. Tickets are available at the door. There's a ton of people in the building already, though.
It's going to be awesome.
It's Tumen on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. We are live at the Rio Rancho Event Center. It is a Monster Truck Friday. Toughest tour van. Make your way down to the Rio Rancho Event Center where you'll buy a full seat. You'll only need the edge. Also, some earplugs. You need some earplugs.
Bring earplugs.
Yeah, bring those.
They were provided last year. They provided this year. I did not check.
They're at the entry.
Do not
when
quote
you
me.
when you come in,
you come in, you grab
they
them.
hand them to you. We didn't get them because we're
here insanely early because we're doing the program from here.
We will need them. That's a thing we will eventually need.
Cotton Bowl flying so far. Halfway through the first quarter, 0-0.
Ooh.
Big play. Ewers to Golden, 24 yards. Not enough. Punt it back to Ohio State. Get their second shot at it.
Ewers. Texans versus Chargers is the first one of the week. And what do you boys think?
I want to say Chargers. I think they're a more complete team. CJ Stroud having a down year. It's hard to really rank his years as he's only had 2 of them, but compared to what he looked like last year, it looked like he's having a down year. But it's going to be hard to go against the Texans at home and against a healthy Joe Mixon. It doesn't matter who he runs the ball against. He's just been running it down any team's throat. I like the Texans to win at home.
Jim Harbaugh coached teams are so hard to beat all the time. Khalil Mack's had himself a heck of a year. CJ Stroud has had a sophomore slump of a sort. But I can't go against Jim Harbaugh, Khalil Mack, and of course, Justin Herbert. So give me the Chargers in this one.
This is not one that I am going to get some skin in the game.
Okay.
I don't trust my opinion of each team enough to invest in this bad boy. Because even though it's at home and even though the Texans are a slight favorite, I think it's more of a toss-up than it looks like right now. With that being said, it's hard to disagree with what you're saying, Carlos, but I just have to go with the better playmaker, and I think the Texans have them in Joe Mixon, in Nico Collins, and Texans pull it off. It's going to be a close one, but Texans by a squeaker.
The last 7 times the Texans played in this time slot on a wild card weekend, they're 5-2.
Pretty good. Also, I think this is the only time slot the Texans have ever played in.
Oh, is that
in wild card weekends? Yes. Yeah.
Is this a Nickelodeon one?
I hope so.
I believe it is.
I hope they're all Nickelodeon.
I believe this is the Nickelodeon one. It's usually the first one of the year. So
who does SpongeBob have?
I don't know. Let's get him on the phone.
I don't know what his voice sounds like. I couldn't even do an impersonation. I've never seen a moment of that. I don't know what the opening song sounds like.
Are you ready, kids? Here's Carlos. I can't bet against Jim Harbaugh in the playoffs, SpongeBob. It's Patrick Starr. That's Patrick Starr, Fred. It's Patrick.
Very nice. Very nicely done.
It's a one-score.
Boy, the money we put on this game.
Oh, here we go.
Is that a good one? I don't know if that one's a good one.
Not a bad one.
It was definitely one that was done.
It was one of them.
It is a one-score game. Texans. Give me like a 23-20. Give me like a 27-23. Give me like a 27-20.
Yeah, I think
Texans.
They both have above average defenses. They both have above average running games. I think both of them want to run the ball, play defense, and eat the clock.
In Houston,
I think this could both be like low 20s, high teens, because they're not going to have enough clock to do any scoring.
I don't want to bet against playoff teams at home, right? That's tough. A sentence that makes sense.
Sure.
It is Houston, CJ Stroud. I haven't seen the injury report. When does that have to come out? I just tried finding it. I don't see it.
Usually it's about, I want to say 3-4 hours before.
Oh, so it's going to be that tight?
Yeah, it's going to be close. So I know that's usually when it comes out during the regular season, with the inactive. So we're looking at right at tip-off for the UNM Lobo game when those things should come out.
CJ Stroud has not been good against winning teams. He's had maybe the best sophomore slump in the history of sophomore slumps.
He's still not that bad. I mean, that's a high bar he set last year. I mean, Eli Apple questionable, J.K. Dobbins questionable, Quentin Johnson questionable, Joshua Palmer all the way out. Those are the big hitters for Will Anderson, practiced in full. I mean, except for Texans' big wide receiver losses, looks like they're both going just about at full strength.
Who was the favorite in this one? Did you say, Van?
Texans 2.5 right now, isn't it?
I just saw the Chargers at 3.
Oh my goodness!
This is obviously
that's a
on ESPN.
Huge swing.
Yeah, this is obviously on ESPN. But Houston plus 135, over under is 41.5. I feel like that's right for those two teams. Those two teams remind me a lot of like Army Navy football. They just run the ball.
They're going, yes,
an ungodly amount.
That's a huge swing from Texans 1.5 all the way to right now Chargers -3.
I wonder what changed that so fast too.
It's a big deal. Vegas has some inside info. What do we don't know? Still going with the Texans though.
Here's what I know.
Not because of my Houston affiliation. I'm a Packers fan.
Not because I'm saying,
no
but because
love lost. I still hate Warren Moon.
Oh,
I've hated Warren Moon my entire life as an adult.
Yes, correct.
As of 3 or 4 years ago.
Carlos, I'll give you the long version of this story some other time.
You got time right now?
We've told this story too many times.
We have not. Not to Carlos.
I think friends of the show want to hear us.
What if friends of the show, it's their first day listening?
Hey, because here's what happened. Hey, because it hurts Van, and that's why I love the story. Well, it hurts Van so much.
Give us the Sparks Notes version, Van.
I'll give you the Cliff's Notes version. Okay, so my hatred.
Back to 2 men on. We're in the rear end of the there's monster truck. We're excited for it. We hope you are too. 7 o'clock is when the action starts. We're 30 minutes away. Bringing in NFL football on the weekend, playoff weekend. 3-day at Philadelphia, man before doors. Sunday, this is the 4:30 Sunday. Wait, 2:30 Sunday.
I desperately wanted the Packers to win their last week in Washington, to lose there last week, so the Packers would not have to play the Eagles. I have hope that Jordan Love continues his hot streak, that Jordan Love stays on this Toyota-thon heater and picks apart the Eagles just like he picked apart the Cowboys as the number 7 seed 1 year ago. And the Packers are victorious. They got the defense to do it. They got the running game to do it. Can Jordan Love step up and make those important throws when he needs to late in the second half? Because I think it's going to be close. I will give it to the Eagles and Saquon Barkley. They are going to run it down the Packers' throat and eat the clock. I don't think Jalen Hurts is that dude. I don't think Jalen Hurts will be able to pick apart the Packers' defense. It will be squarely on Saquon Barkley's shoulders to do enough damage to make up for the inconsistencies in Jalen Hurts. Because remember, Jalen Hurts just is now getting out of concussion protocol after 2 weeks. If the current incantation of the NFL puts you away for 2 weeks, you have a serious concussion. They let people just walk right back into the game if they say, la, 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 I'm okay. But for them to keep Jalen Hurts out 2 weeks and keep him in concussion protocol, that means this is very serious. So that's going to take away the scrambling and the designed running plays for Jalen Hurts. And like I told you already, I don't think Jalen Hurts is that dude you can put the team on your back to make those important throws. So I think it's going to be close, and I think my Packers can pull it off. I'm a little jaded. I'm not objective, but give me Jordan Love leading a game-winning drive, picking apart that Eagles secondary late in the fourth quarter. Packers beat the Eagles. Yes. Don't need it. Got 2 of them. They're so good.
They're so good. They have like they've been the best rusher in NFL history and did not.
Just give him a break. Yeah, Saquon's gonna eat.
Yeah, he is.
He's gonna eat.
He's the definition of the best. He's not just going to go out there. He's going to go out there and go. Here's why I didn't care about the single season rushing record. Because I cared about beating the Green Bay Packers. Because I cared about doing it on the ground, in the lane, in front of. And I've been in the lane. It's intense.
Sure.
They are wild. They're gonna be wild. Green Bay is a year too early. People love Christian Watson being out as a big deal. They don't have what it takes. Not enough ammunition. They're done. This one, by the way, that should be a new segment. This should be the new Workhorse Armory.
Workhorse Armory, yeah.
Do they have enough ammunition?
Do they have enough ammunition?
I am telling you, Philadelphia at home, and same story. You got some yard work to do. This is when you need to do it. Because of the 6 playoff games this weekend, this one, the Buffalo one, don't think they're in question. I think it's Philadelphia.
Sure.
No.
Well, you think it's going to be an absolute blowout. I think they're going to do what they need to do to at least keep it close, to give them a chance in the fourth quarter. Again, I'll say it 1,000 times. Jalen Hurts is not that dude. He's a good modern NFL quarterback, but he needs Saquon to go off for the Eagles to go off. And if you're not going to stop Saquon. you're not going to keep him under 50, 60 yards. He's going to eat for sure. But if you can manage him, if you can keep away from big Saquon plays, it's going to be close in the second half. And it depends on whose quarterback has the most gall, who's got the most chutzpah, who's got the most heart. And I think that's Jordan Love.
Washington and Tampa Bay wraps up Sunday night. Baker Mayfield at home. Baker Mayfield at home. It is the redemption tour. Also, the last several years since Tom Brady, Tampa Bay is a winning franchise. They got players who have been there. They got a quarterback with talent. And it is, again, similar to the Packers 1 year early for Jaden Daniels. He, though, is the truth. And this is his first appearance in the playoffs. So very many more after this.
Yeah, hard, very hard agree. Jaden Daniels, he's got a bright future. The thing is about Jaden Daniels, we're pretty jaded on the start that he had to the season. He hasn't been the wunderkid that he was at the beginning of the year. He's slowed down considerably. While the Washington football team did enough to keep winning the games they were supposed to towards the end of the year and getting into the playoffs, it's not there yet. Give me Baker Mayfield. Give me Baker Mayfield at home. Give me Baker Mayfield feeding Mike Evans, keeping that rivalry with Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore going. Also, going to be a lot of penalty calls for unsportsmanlike conduct. This is going to get real spicy. It's going to get real ugly. And then the Buccaneers win in a smasher. Gotcha. Agree. If you're unsure about what prize picks you want, every skill position player on Washington and Tampa smash them more. So I think they're going to light it up too, Carlos.
Minnesota at LA in Phoenix. It's the Monday Night Football game. We watched and previewed on Monday as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how, with the way storylines go, you could ever pick Minnesota in this one. It is for the Rams. Minnesota's better team, but for the season, it's for the Rams. Minnesota, I think, is better at a skill position, but because of the current climate, it's for the Rams. The NFL will make sure that this thing is successful so that when the time we get to the Super Bowl, the Rams are in a contentious spot to be there, or a contending spot. I believe the Rams will be victorious at the home, which is now Phoenix, against Minnesota on Monday night. And I believe it's going to be I believe it will come down to special teams. Like if you get kicked, walk this thing off.
Sure.
Give me a big play defensively. I do think it's the Rams. And I don't think it's because of the better team.
I think in the two coaches, you got like a mirror up against each other. These are two like offensive geniuses, Sean McVay and Kevin O'Connell. You got like a master and apprentice kind of situation here with these two coaches. They know each other very well. If this was in LA, if this was in the Rams' house, I would be way more comfortable picking the Rams. I told you all season long that the Minnesota Vikings are fool's gold. They keep winning easy games. They're not as good as they look. And I've been proven wrong over and over and over again. I thought the Vikings tower would have crumbled, would have exposed themselves long ago, but they just keep doing everything they need to do to win football games. And here they are now. They're getting lucky. Not only are they good, they're also getting lucky, and they get to play the Rams in a neutral site. And Minnesota, they travel well. You know how hungry Minnesota Vikings fan is? for some success. Like, they are just so insanely, deliberately hungry. And every construction worker, every landscaper, every Mr. Everything wear a tool belt from Minnesota is going to spend their life savings to support their Vikings every chance they get to possibly win a championship. Minnesota will show up to Phoenix. So I think instead of it, well, it's just one state over, it's just from LA to Phoenix, I think it's going to be split 50-50 in that crowd, and LA will definitely lose their home field advantage. And dare I say, Minnesota proves me wrong again and does just enough to win another game.
We'll be back from break. Just a handful of short minutes wrap up this one live from the Rancho Event Center. It's 95.9 FM, AM 6 Big Sports. right in front of your mouth. Okay, is that better? That really wasn't bad.
There we go. No, we got it. We got it.
Yeah, I never seen you ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, motorcycle.
Right, so you're really
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you know that the elevation is
yeah. You got to give it more gas. Because it's slow. Yeah, our bikes are slow.
you don't hear.
They really are. So elevation has a good effect. Yeah. So elevation,
Ooh.
in elevation it has thick air and
Okay.
it makes your bike slower. And like I live at almost 5,000 kilometers, so I know that my bike's slower, so it's kind of slower. And then when the sea level shows,
Yeah, but once you get that bad boy in the air, then it goes.
Yeah, then it goes.
Yeah.
But they are heavy, so. I have. This is my 21st year.
Oh, wow.
21st year motorcycles. Yeah. Yeah, for real. It's a good time. I love dirt bikes. That's all I've ever known my whole life, and it's taking me awesome. Yeah, that happens. That's part of life. Yeah, you might as well do it yourself.
So do you have like a running tally that you will always have memorized? Like how many broken bones, how many separated shoulders, how many?
You know, that's a mental part.
Okay.
Last January, I broke my femur.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
That's life, though, and that's the path we've chosen, and doing what we love to do, and that's your passion. How many motorcycle brewers are out there? We have 3 of us tonight. We put on a cool show. We'll do a contest and cheer off with the crowd. They enjoy it, and then we'll do a good little jam session. And they love it. You know, places are different, but I know because we've been here for quite a few years.
Yeah. I'd like to have a good time here in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho.
How far and how long are you going? So here we're a little shorter than normal because the arena's tight, and bikes are slow. Yeah. So, and this dirt, sand, dirt, so okay. But we end up jumping about normal. So tight running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
And luckily, you guys bring in a good crowd every time. There's a lot of people here for Friday night. Yeah. And our first show of the year.
You think there's a lot here now. Wait till 10 minutes after it starts.
Because
we're notoriously late here in the land of manana.
I totally could. Offered on the table. Yeah, I would love to. I know I have fun. Now we leave the house. No, okay. She's not terrified. What? Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's positive. I like that.
No, it's good. She's supporting my passion. This is what I want to do, and this is what I do. It's a good back road. Everyone wants support with what they do.
So you said you got 3 riders tonight.
Yeah.
Do you travel with an alternate, or you're like, or one guy goes down? You're like, we got 2 riders tonight. Yeah.
And that, I hate to say it, but that's honestly part of what we do.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
No, we also I would actually with arts and horrible element. Yes, you get the wind, it blows you around and you can't jump, or you get the rain, you can't ride.
What element of your performance is like improv, is freestyle? Do you have like a certain routine? Or are you just out there feeling it? You just go for it?
So it is kind of like that. I do have a routine that I do, but like switch things up because honestly, we feed off the crowd.
Yeah.
The crowd drives us. Sure. So we ride better when the crowd's loud, and you know, it's still fun, but it's like we drive off the crowd and we do our job there to show you guys what we want to do.
Right. That's a different skill set. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Of course. Oh, wait.
I'm sweating. It happens. But, and so that excitement is what we're driving on. I'm an adult.
Now hold on. Did you forget the 21 years part? Like this is muscle memory now.
Honestly, take a break, ride for a month. The first couple of days back in so this has 8 stops. We're doing 7.
So cool.
And these are great. The people that run this tour are that's a little. That's I know.
Excellent.
One of my favorite things. Is it your job tonight to steal the show?
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's kind of hard. There are some guys.
Sure.
Like you guys can look through the crowd. But honestly, that's nowhere.
I'm a big blockhead guy. Okay. Love Legos, so I have a rooting interest tonight. What truck do you rotate through your favorites throughout the season, or you got one?
I know. I'm blockhead.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
So, blockhead's my truck. I want to drive. I'm driving blockhead. That's going to be my truck.
I'm just hoping he gets a cold sometime. Yeah.
I have a trick I've made up. Okay. Now it's a combo trick. When you in the truck, you have to land at the back of the truck. Is it feasible? I don't know.
Well, not with that attitude. You got to try it once.
I'm not being a Polly or whatever you want to call it, Nancy. But I don't think that's going to work.
I just feel like in my heart, with the new Cybertruck, it could be done.
Hey, sunroof. Let's talk sunroof. Yeah.
Or are we talking about a pool?
I'll jump in the pool.
What's the weirdest thing you've jumped?
Like, you know, so we will fix the airbag on the Sure. We had fun at the pool party. So we had no airbag.
Yes.
And they had a Takati display, so we borrowed their full Takati kit for our airbag.
Okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
How high do I think you stack
Hey, challenge accepted.
And then as soon as we're done, right?
Your favorite sport was?
Sports. JJ, thank you so much. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Oh my goodness, come out and check out the toughest monster truck tour and have a great weekend. Watch all the NFL, follow my bets, and listen to the opening drive Monday morning with Jeff and JJ. See you next week, Buddha Kid.